Hey, what's up? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in this video, I want to talk about, I think we just broke a record with an individual on removing inquiries. I could just say, uh, that we have some secret weapon to be able to remove inquiries, but actually what it was this client had tried doing it before. He was actually spammed. That's what I consider it, spammed by a car dealer who had ran his credit with multiple lenders. He had over 102 inquiries where they just blew this out. The worst that I had seen before this was about 20, 25 was probably the worst that I had seen before this. But this individual had 101 inquiries, 102 inquiries, because when we made our request on having the information removed off of the credit report, we said that the only one that should stay on there is the one that he actually approved to run his credit. No one else should have been placed on there. It shouldn't have been ran with the other ones because they didn't notify him. We know that the car dealers do this all the time, but he was not notified. And so we were able to get 101 of those unauthorized inquiries removed from his credit report. So I'm happy about that. Just look how thick that file was that had to get done. Don't have a date on when it was sent out. I believe this took a couple of months to get, a couple of months to be able to get this information removed. So it took a good couple of months to be able to get the result that he wanted. Now, everybody's situation is different. Your situation may not be the same. Maybe you have inquiries on your credit report that you went to a car dealer and they ran it with multiple ones. They said that, hey, they gave you the excuse that, hey, we ran it with this one to try to see if we can get you the best rate. We ran it with that one because we, couldn't get you approved with this one, or whatever reason. That does not matter. You're not the one that's making that decision in the room. And if you think about it, one of the things that they try to get you to sign, and they usually do get us to sign, especially if you got approved for the vehicle, is they're going to have you sign a document, and somewhere hidden in the small print on that document, it's going to state that they could run you with multiple finance companies. But this is the thing: it does not distinguish how many they can run it with. What is run it with, like with multiple? Is that 2? Is that 3? Is that 4? Is that 5? Is that 6? Obviously, if they were to ask you, you would not allow them to run it with 20 or 25. And like with this client here with 102, he kept the one because he got approved with the one, but it ran it with 102 different finance companies. And here's the reasons why they will do that. Number one, if they're working with working with A plus credit, they're gonna automatically know who they're gonna send it to. They're not even gonna play any of those games because they don't want to tear up someone who has good credit. They don't want to tear up their credit reports. So what they'll do with people who have bad credit, and that's why you gotta work to get yourself out of the bad credit situation, because you actually you lose control of an aspect of your life, which is your finances, when you allow them to be able to destroy your credit even more when you were just looking at getting approved for a vehicle. You're getting approved for one vehicle, but you, like in this case, have 102 marks on your credit reports. Does that sound fair? But people who don't have control over their credit, uh, it's like a landmine that's just waiting for a person with bad credit to step on. So you would, number one, they'll try to get you to sign, but even if you do sign, it's never going to have how many places that they ran your credit with. So even if you got approved, you can state that I only wanted to have this company run my credit. You don't know what's going on in the back room. So you could just say, hey, I just approved this company to run my credit. None of these other ones were authorized to run my credit. And usually because the companies, they didn't get your business, they don't want to go through any trouble, they're going to usually remove that information off your credit reports. It's just not worth it to them to say, okay, yeah, he wanted it to be, or she wanted it to be on there to get disapproved, to get denied for auto loan. They're not going to want to go through that. And I mean, we all know, and even the bureaus know, that this is like an abuse of authority that car dealers and those lenders that sell cars. This is something that they've been doing for a while, and I haven't seen any crackdowns on them doing it because the big thing is that if they get someone approved, they're happy. So that's why there's really nothing that's really came down the pike on them stopping them from doing that. But I can tell you, as a person that has excellent credit, they will not attempt to do that on a person who has excellent credit. They're going to automatically know who they're going to take that business to. And then you can decide, if you have good credit, you can decide if you want it or if you want them to do better. And I could tell you a situation that happened to me when I bought my RV. Is we said we don't want that deal. We want it to be better. We felt that it could be better. And the person yelled out, they probably would have done this anyway, but he yelled out to the finance person and said, hey, do we have a coupon to lower the interest rate? And he was like, yeah, we have a coupon. I mean, this is just stuff that's going on in the office. They just tried to get my wife and I to take the higher interest rate, which was still a good interest rate. We just wanted it to be lower. And then they did get it lower. They got it actually a little bit lower than where we wanted. And then a couple of months later, or like 30 days later, we got a letter from the finance company saying that we made a mistake, which is the dealer made a mistake, and you even qualified for even a lower rate, because they know they don't want to fool with people. If I would have checked up and saw what other people were getting, they would have said that you got taken advantage of, which is a learning experience on my behalf, that even if I negotiate for the lowest rate, that I should still look at what people with that specific company is getting for an interest rate, because obviously they said that I qualified for a lower interest rate. Sorry about that. So that's a good lesson in that, and that's a good lesson that I'm passing on to you. So just to review real quick before we move forward, because I've got some good stuff to move forward on, is that if you go to get an automobile loan, they run your credit on multiple creditors, lending companies. You only approved to have it done on one. They may say you signed here and said that it could be ran with multiples. You can say, no, I didn't. I want those removed. They won't be able to get them removed. You're going to have to do the work yourself. Yes, it's going to take some work, but you can actually get those additional companies approved. Make sure that you don't dispute the company that you got financing with, because that wouldn't be a good thing. So now let's move forward on something that came to my attention over the weekend. There's some portfolios that are made available from debt collectors, and I wanted to kind of go over this on Friday, but they've just been blowing up my email. There's a portfolio, $3.1 million charge off. Also, watch out for charge offs, accounts on student loan debt that has been forgiven by the federal government. These companies might try to sell off that debt and come after you for it, and you make a mistake and pay it. But $3.1 million credit card accounts, average account balance $1,500. They got has been batched to where they know the name, address, job, everything about the individuals. Next group, mixed credit cards, $32.9 million, 2,511 accounts, and average balance is $13,000. This is big for credit card debt. That's a big big amount. Got another group here, $25 million, 19,803 accounts, average balance $1,263. This is like less than 1/10 of 1% of a penny that they're selling this portfolio for. Be very careful though. This is credit card accounts. Another group here, we got $25.1 million, 19,000 accounts, a little over $1,200 on these here also. Let's see here. Another group, $246 million. Yes, $246 million. Average balance is $1,000 on those. Could be mixture of payday loans. Another group, 1.8 million. This looks like payday loan accounts. 144 accounts. Average, no, this isn't payday loan. Must be auto debt. $12,000 is the average balance on those. So now you know my rule on this. Whenever you get a letter from a debt collector, you need to respond to that debt collector. You have 30 days to respond to the debt collector. If you don't do it within 30 days, you're giving them rights to do what you don't want them to do, which is to put that information on their credit reports and to be able to move forward if they want to try to sue you, because they've like taken the first step that they legally have to take. Now you have a right when you get that letter to communicate back with them, and and also they have to send you a letter first. If they call you first, they've actually broken one of the laws in the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So they cannot call you and then try to send you a letter. They have to send you that letter first, because it's like a violation of your privacy to call you about a debt that's not yours. So they have to send you the letter. If they don't send you a letter and they call you, you let them know that the call is being recorded and that you're going to decide to record. Also, you can notify them and you can let them know that you've never received anything in writing and that it is against the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act for them to call you first before sending a letter. They'll probably hang up in your face after you do that. They might try to say that they sent you a letter, whatever. You could tell them to send you the letter. If you like, you could tell them to send the letter. They're probably going to try to send it to you anyway. And once you see the date is after the date that you talk to them on the phone, all you have to do is write them a letter saying that they're in violation. Now, if they follow the rules and they send you a letter, I want you to be aware that they cannot send this letter through a third party organization. They can't use a mailing center and disclose your information. And the rules are very strict on how they have to do this. My feeling is that these companies violate this all the time. I don't think that they have a mail room where they got people that work for them sitting there, printing out and stuffing envelopes and putting stamps on there. But maybe they do. So, but if it looks like it came from a third party organization, what you got to do is you got to take a good look at the envelope. If it looks like any part of it could have been done by a machine, you can actually use that document and challenge back to them that they've actually disclosed your information to a third party. And that is on court, that is an actual court lawsuit, federal court lawsuit, where LVNV Funding, Portfolio, and Midland, they all lost a court case because they disclosed individuals' information to a third party. They cannot do that. So now, let's just say that, you look at it, you can't really say yes or no that it was shared with a third unauthorized third party. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to submit a response to them. If the debt is, you're going to look on your credit reports. If the debt is not past the legal statute of limitations to collect, or if it is past the legal statute of limitations, you won't know that unless you go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, click on the blog at the bottom, type in statute, and then you'll see the page that has a statute of limitations for all 50 states. If the debt that you got from that debt collector was charged off and it's past the statute of limitations date for your state, for example, my state of Wisconsin, 6 years. If someone had a charged off account and it's past 6 years, even if it's 1 day past 6 years, that account cannot legally be collected, even if it's from the original creditor. That's the law. So if it's past the legal statute of limitations, all you have to do is send them a letter notifying them that the debt is past the legal statute of limitations to collect. Don't worry, I'm going to give you that letter. Just keep watching the video. Next, if the debt is not past legal statute of limitations to collect, you will want to send them a cease and desist collection activities letter. This is a letter notifying them that it's not going to just be a cakewalk for you or for them to, to try to come and collect this debt regardless if you owe it or not. That is going to be some back and forth. You're going to make sure that the third party debt collector is going to have to prove certain things before any potential negotiations or any payments are going to be made or arranged. They're going to usually come back and they're going to send you a statement, one or two old statements that you had, and they're going to say, this is your account, blah, blah, blah. You know what they're going to do. Then you're going to send a full debt validation to them. This debt validation is not just about the debt. It's about other information pertaining to you that they just cannot skip over, which people let them skip over it because they don't know their rights when it comes to this. And I'm not talking about where you got to be some type of lawyer or something on fighting back and forth. What I'm saying is there's certain things that you can say to a debt collector that will make them back off, because they know that if they go to court or if they get in front of a judge and you say these very simple things about the debt that they're trying to collect, that it could actually make them dismiss the case, and you would want to get that case dismissed with prejudice so it'll be all over. So, but what I've done is I've put all of these together for you in a easy 3-pack letter format where you can utilize the ones that you need. Instructions are with them. You can just type in information that I told you to. The letters are adjusted from what debt collectors have been adjusting to, because debt collectors don't like losing, so they're not going to just stand there and just say, okay, every time I get one of these letters, we're just going to not fight. So we've had to make some adjustments on those letters. So the links are below this video if you want to grab those letters. There is a fee for the updated letters. I do have an older version, but I would suggest if it can save you hundreds or thousands of dollars, that you should look into getting the paid versions of the letters, because it has the updates from us going back and forth with debt collectors. And then to kind of put a little emphasis on that, when I say going back and forth with debt collectors, I'm talking about us going back and forth with debt collectors, not where we just pretending and making videos and saying you should do this and drawing out these laws and you need to do that on the paper and that. No, we're talking about actually doing the work for clients, real experience, not fake stuff. Where you can actually have to get on the phone with a debt collector, have someone from another channel volunteer to do that for you and see if they know what they're doing. So those links are below here. And if you need help with your credit, please visit my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video what makes a difference so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. This is where I'm going to just break down exactly the way that we repair credit. That's the way that we do it. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com. And we also have a new link where you can get your FICO score, so you can see what car dealers see, credit card companies see, and mortgage companies, what they see, the exact FICO score that they'll see to approve you for any of those things. That link is below the video here. All right, thank you for your time. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. I'm going to be having a fast blast of answering questions in a video that's coming up. Thank you for your time.